Hey everyone, we're back for the Abyss card review. Abyss, of course, is the combination of Blood and Shadow from the old Shadowverse, and it's kind of just a Shadow deck right now. If I, if I call it Shadow, I apologize. I'm just a boomer. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know my full opinion yet on them combining those two classes into one. I'm going to kind of wait until we see all of the cards for the game, for the first set. But yeah, let's get into it. The first card is Reaper's Death Slash. So Reaper's Death Slash, 1-drop, select an allied and enemy file on the field and destroy them. What they're going for with this Abyss deck is pre-Omens mid-range Shadow. That's sort of my assumption. And that Shadow deck was very much little, 1/1 guys, like your skeletons and stuff, and also things that summoned other things on death. So you almost like invest your play points into like multiple things, but they came at like small bodies, right? And then you have other effects like Soul Conversion, which was a 1-drop, kill one of your own things and draw 2 cards, or a Demon Eater, which was the same effect on a 2-drop. And then this is sort of in that same vein, but you're hard removing something. So I really like this card. I think this card is very powerful, especially with the type of deck they're trying to go for. And I think this is going to see a lot of play, actually. So Reaper's Death Slash, pretty interesting. It also makes me hopeful that they'll print a Soul Conversion, but we'll kind of have to wait and see. I could see, since they're combining Abyss and Shadow, that instead of a Soul Conversion, we could get a Blood Pact, which was like a 2-drop, hit yourself for 2, and then draw 2 cards, as the like early lifespan draw support, So yeah. We're going to skip the neutrals. If you want to see me talk about the neutrals, go watch my dragon video. Then our first 2-drop, Devious Lesser Mummy, 2-drop 2/2, Necromancy 4, give this follow storm. So Necromancy 4, of course, is when you use 4 shadows. So it'll say Necromancy and then the number you have to use of the shadows. And shadows are gained by basically just like any one of your cards being destroyed. And then there's also other cards that generate shadows, which we'll see here soon. So like say you have, you play a spell card, it gets destroyed. And say you have like a guy on the field and it gets destroyed, you get a shadow. So, 2-mana 2, how good is a 2-mana 2/2 storm? Pretty good if you're playing like an aggro deck, But if you're not, if you're playing a mid-range deck, like I assume this deck is, I think 2 attack is just a little too low. You're also never getting this on 2. Like if you could play a 2-drop 2/2 storm, it'd be pretty good on 2. But then after every turn after that, it's pretty weak. So, I don't know. I don't think this card's that good, but we'll see. Next card, Mino. This is a card I do think is very good. 2-drop 2/1. Enhance 4, so you pay 4 mana for this total. Give this follower Rush and Bane. So that means you're just going to be able to like kill something guaranteed for 4 mana most of the time. And then last words, add a skeleton to your hand. So skeletons are 0-drop 1/1s. So you can think of this card, honestly, as a 2-drop 3/2 worth of stats. Obviously, it's separated between 2 cards, but you also get 2 shadows. I think this card is very strong, especially when you think about like playing this for 4. Say you're on like turn 5, right? You play this for 4. Swing in, kill something, and then you play your skeleton, and then you play your Reaper's Death Slash, and you just killed 2 things, and you generated, 4 shadows? No, 3, right? Because it's Mino, Skeleton, Death Slash. Yeah, so you generate 3 shadows. So, kind of like that. It's also only like a 2-card combo. So, yeah, I don't know. I think this card's very, very, very strong. And we can see, the 2-drops, like I was talking about, being just stronger than normal. Next card, one of my favorite characters of all time, Orthrus. I'm really happy she's in the game. 2-drop 2/2, Fanfare, add 2 shadows to your cemetery. And she's a ward. So she's a 2-drop 2/2 ward that gives you 2 shadows. and then evolve Necromancy 4, so use 4 of your shadows, and then do this 2 times. Deal 2 damage to a random enemy follower. So she's kind of a board clear-ish in the early game, so she's going to be able to evolve, hopefully kill 2 things, and then you can swing in and kill another thing. And she's a ward, and she adds 2 shadows to your cemetery. I think this is the best 2-drop we've seen so far in class. I think Filled Out is still the best. I don't know. Is Filled Out even the best 2-drop? I think this is just the best 2-drop that we've seen so far. I think this card is very, very, very strong. Does everything the deck wants to do. And yeah, I think this card's pretty good. Next card, Little Miss Bonemancer. And this is sort of the idea that I was talking about of how this deck wants to operate. It's a 3-drop 1/2. Last word, summon 2 skeletons. So those are 1/1s, of course. So you're basically like investing 3 play points for a 1/2, which is kind of like a 1/2 is basically a goblin or like a 1-drop, right? So, but when it dies, you get 2 more skeletons. So you're separating all of the effects, all of your play point investment out. But the great thing is this deck wants to do that because you can just, you have a lot of effects like Soul Conversion, hopefully, and Reaper's Deathslash that we've already seen, where you want to like sack your guys and get an effect. So really like this. It also makes it hard for your opponent to like clear, right? Because it's like, well, if I clear it, they'll get 2 skeletons. They'll be swinging 2 at me instead of 1. So yeah, like these type of cards, and it's pretty good. Next card, Shadow Crypt Memorial. This is an amulet. Fanfare, add 2 shadows to your cemetery. Engage, destroy this card, and summon 2 copies of Ghost. And Ghosts are 1-drop 1/1s, Storm. When this card leaves the field, banish it, and at the end of your turn, banish it. So you can never get shadows from this card, but it's a Storm, right? So I think this card's pretty bad. I don't like this card. The only time it will be good is if there's some sort of obnoxious like OTK or like deal 10 damage in 1 turn type effect where you like you pay this for 3, later in the game you pop it and you just like buff those 2 ghosts to like 5 and you swing 10 or something. But other than that, I don't think it's that good. You can kind of think of it as like 3-drop. So if it dies, it gets Storm. Or I'm sorry. If the amulet dies, it gets a shadow. So you can kind of think of it as 3 shadows, summon 2 ghosts. I don't know. I'm not sold on it, especially in a deck like this. Next, we have a very big fan favorite card, Cerberus Blue Rose Maiden. 4 mana 1/4 Bane. At the end of your turn, restore 2 defense to your leader. If this follower super evolved, restore 4 instead and give this follower Barrier. So Bane, of course, I guess is our first Bane card. No, sorry. Mino was our first Bane card, but we didn't explain it. Bane is just, you know, if you attack into something, it auto dies, basically. It's like Death Touch. Barrier, we already know. So I hate to say this, but I think this is the first card that is weaker than the original card. Unless the game, like, maybe once I get my hands on the game and play it, I will think differently. But the original series was a really interesting mid-game card for this sort of archetype. She was a 4 mana 1/4, so same stats. A Clash. So Clash was whenever she goes into combat with something, deal 2 damage to the enemy follower. So that means that if you have a 4/2, say, if you swing into her, she's going to deal the 2 damage before the attack happens, so she will not be able to get hit. So that basically meant that you had to be above 3 health to interact with this card, really. And then she still had the effect to restore 2 health at the end of your turn. This was such an interesting card because it was like a really sticky follower that was hard to remove. It still was basically a 3/4 because you could swing into stuff and it deals the 2 damage first and then the 1. And then you just have this effect that you always get to heal 2 damage, right? And then we see this new version where the only other effect now that you're getting is the Super Evolve effect. And spending a Super Evolve, you only have 2 of them, right? You only have 2 of them. And we already seen Olivia that you're probably going to play in every deck. And then we're going to see Cerberus, which you really want to Super Evolve. I don't know. I don't think this card is very good. Also, with how much hard removal exists in the game right now, just being a 4/7 with barrier that heals, like, it's not that good, honestly, you know. Oh, I guess she has Bane compared to the other version. The other version did not have Bane. I don't know. A little disappointed in this card. Let me know what you guys think. Maybe I'm, like, super under. Like, I think it could be a good card. I think just healing might be just good enough, right? But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Maybe I'm misanalyzing this card, but it's great to see her in the game. She's a very iconic character. And yeah, so hopefully she's good. Next card, Mukan. 4 mana, 3/3. He is a brand new Shadowverse character, like we talked about. I just realized he has a very similar effect to the other Shadowverse original character, the Liu Fang from Dragon, where they're 4 mana, 3/3 that auto evolve with some effect. So his fanfare is Negomancy 8 evolve this follows. So 8 shadows, and you evolve this. So whenever an allied departed follower enters the field, give it Bane. Departed is a trait, and they're going to be doing a lot of these new traits now. And it's basically all of the tokens. So Ghost has a departed trait. Skeleton has a departed trait. So basically he's going to be giving these tokens Bane. And then when this follower evolves, summon a Ghost. So basically, he's going to be a 4 mana 5/5. This if you use the Necromancy, right? 4 mana 5/5, swinging into something, and then you summon a Ghost with Bane, so you're going to be able to auto clear something. How good is that? I think that's pretty good, but 8 shadows is a lot to use, and I don't think we're going to be getting like, 30 shadows like some of the old decks were in Shadowverse original. So I don't know, 8 shadows is a lot, and Cerberus, which we'll talk about soon, needs 6, I believe. So I don't know. I think I don't know. I'm not sure what to say about this card. I think it's pretty good. I just don't think it's going to see a lot of play unless we get a lot of early game shadow generation. And I don't know. I don't know how good like a 1/1, like a Bane and then a 5/5 that can swing into it. Like, it's pretty good. I guess I'm also comparing it to like a Portal card we'll see soon that's like way better version than this like type of effect. So yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of down on Mukan, but I might be wrong. Ghost Juggler. This is a card that I think is kind of not like underrated, but is going to see a lot of play, I think. So 6 mana 5/5 fanfare reanimate 4. Reanimate, of course, is you resurrect basically an allied follower with the highest cost that had been destroyed this game. And then if there's multiple 4-drops, it's random. So if you have Mukan and Cerberus in the graveyard, he randomly resurrects one of them. That's why I think you're gonna see like only a couple, like only one 4-drop or only the best 4-drop if you play this guy, because you want to guarantee res something, right? And I think the thing you want to be resing is the Cerberus. So it's like you play Cerberus, you get some heal, maybe you kill something in the next turn, and then the turn after that you play him again, you res her. It's like, that's still pretty bad. I don't know. You play, like, if you're going second, you can Super Evolve the Cerberus now. I don't know. I think we're waiting for another good 4-drop for this card to be used, but I think it will be used. Just because these type of cards in this early low-power environment are really strong typically. So, even if we get a vanilla, like, 4 mana 4/5, I think it'd be pretty good. So, yeah. Next card, Olivia. We already talked about Olivia. Olivia's really broken. It's the best card in the game right now. This card's so funny to me. Vlad the Impaler, the only blood card in this entire deck. Select enemy fall on the field and deal it 5 damage, and then restore 5 to your leader. Restore 5 health to your leader. So, in Classic, we had a very iconic card, Temptress Vampire. She was 9 mana, 5/5. Fanfare, deal 5 damage to an enemy, and then heal yourself for 5. So an enemy meant face. Since Vlad can't go face, I think he's unplayable. I think he's horrendous. I think this card sucks. But if it said face, it would be pretty good, Temptress Vampire reprint. Especially if they wanted to go like a hard control blood route for the blood side of Abyss. I don't know. This card sucks. This is the worst card we've seen so far. Yeah. I don't know. Next is not a bad card at all. In fact, it's a pretty good card. Cerberus, Hellfire Unleashed. 8 mana, 6/6, Fanfare, summon a Mimi and a Coco. And then Necromancy 6, give all other allied followers on the field +2 attack. Super Evolve, reanimate 1 twice. So, let's break it all down. 8 mana, 6/6, Mimi, summon a Mimi and a Coco. Mimi is a 2/1 with Rush. It's also 1 mana. That last words deal 2 damage to the enemy leader. And then Coco is a 1/2 with Rush that last words heal you for 2. So, without Super Evolving, you're going to be getting, and say you hit the Necromancy, right? 8 mana, 6/6, summon a 2/1 and a 1/2, and they both get buffs. So it's summon a 4/1 and a 3/2. And then these things, when they die, you get some effects, and they have Rush. And then if you Super Evolve, whatever the first one you killed will just reanimate twice, right? So in this scenario, you want to go, if you want to do damage, right? You play Cerberus, you get the 2 Coco Mimi, you swing the Mimi in, then you Super Evolve the Cerberus. You get 2 Mimis back, assuming you've never played a 1-drop this game. And then you're basically dealing 6 damage face. So that's pretty good. It's like a side grade to Hector. I call him Hector. It's Ektar. Demon Lord Ektar. This was like one of the strongest cards in the entire game in the early stages of Shadowverse Evolved, or Shadowverse Original. And he was summon zombies until your board is full, which were 2/2s, and then you give all other allied followers +2 attack and Rush. So doing something very similar. Thinking about it more, though, I do actually think Hector is better than Cerberus, which is crazy to say. But just 2/2s, or like being able to play it a turn early and giving everything Rush, including him, right? He gave himself Rush? No, he didn't give Rush. Sorry, I was thinking about Evolve, he gives himself Rush. But yeah, this card's obviously insane. This is like the late game board fill, card that you want to see. It also has that like other effect where if anything lives on your field, you're giving it +2 attack as well. So anything that like lives, you're going to be able to do, swing even more damage. But yeah, I think this card's really, really strong. And is like sort of going to be the face of at least the shadow side of Abyss. So yeah, is that the last card? It is. Okay, for some reason I feel like this was less cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, it's 11. 11 still. Okay. I guess we skipped over the neutrals, that's why. But one thing I do want to bring up is, if you're like a lore head or a lot of the like old Rage Bahamut stuff, that we are missing a character from here, right? We are missing Sharon, who is always with Orthrus and Cerberus. And I kind of, Sharon's like also one of my favorite characters. Sharon in the past, her original one, or Karen, was like 5 mana 4/5 Evo summon a Lich for Necromancy 6. I think she's gonna be more like her other variations where she was kind of always about getting Cerberus. So like this second version was put a random 5 play point Shadowcraft follower from your deck into your hand. That was Cerberus basically. And then on Evo you could play her for free. And then the other Sharon was, what did this one do? Oh yeah, this was like the what is this? Yeah, this was like you could get it from your deck and destroy it. You could get any card from your deck and destroy it. And then you basically put it into the like reanimate pool. So yeah, pretty interesting. I think it'll be some sort of combination of those effects. And I'd be shocked if they missed her, because when we get to Portal, there's going to be a similar situation there where we're missing a character. And it's way more obvious than this one. So yeah, I'm really excited to see what the Sharon's going to do. I imagine she'll be a gold, I guess, with Orthrus, or maybe a silver. But yeah, pretty excited. Really excited about Abyss. I think it feels very similar to like the fun playstyle that I like of Shadow. Shadow and Sword were the first decks I really played a lot, 7 years ago when I started. And yeah, so I'm pretty excited. I think Cerberus is really strong. I think that Mino is very strong. Orthrus is very strong. So yeah, gonna be interested to see if my predictions are true, right? Maybe Orthrus sucks and Mino sucks. I doubt it. But yeah, okay. Thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate it. It's 20 minutes this time, not as long as the last one. But really appreciate you guys watching. If you have any comments or questions or anything that I could be doing in the future or better, please let me know. I'm really excited about this game. And yeah, if you want to be on the, not the cutting room floor. What's the analogy I'm looking for? The edge. You want to get the edge in competitive Shadowverse. This is the channel for it. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.